I had the chance last Sunday to talk to David Axelrod, of course, the Obama campaign strategist, one-time journalist for the Chicago Tribune, who later became a senior White House official and is now an outside commentator for MSNBC and has a book out, and I was able to get him on the show. A lot of emails and tweets about should I press him on this, that, or the other thing. I was there not to argue with him about Barack Obama, but to argue with him about the media and the president's sometimes dismissive attitude toward certain pundits and commentators and the whole cable thing, as he quoted the president as having told him. Also the very cozy relationship between Axelrod and some of his colleagues in the Obama campaigns of 2008 and 2012 with the press and the president taking swipes at Fox and all of that. I was surprised to get an email from Guidi, G-U-E-D-Y, I hope I'm not mispronouncing that, New York City. Headline, what? Did you and Axelrod just agree good campaigns get better coverage? News to me, says Guidi. It is usually the campaign gaffes and missteps of badly run campaigns that get more coverage. Sometimes biased coverage makes a campaign good or bad. Well, I don't argue with that last point. But what Axelrod was saying, which I completely agree with, and I've been saying this and writing this for about 20 years, is that winning campaigns tend to get better coverage, and campaigns that are on a losing streak get far worse coverage. It's an example of the way in which journalists rely too heavily on the polls. And so if a candidate is winning one state after another, a presidential campaign, everybody's a genius. You have profiles of the strategists who are making it happen, what a brilliant campaigner or candidate or politician the candidate is. And so little incidents that might otherwise have been something bad for the campaign are kind of brushed off, and small incidents that seem to indicate why the campaign is winning are magnified. And as soon as somebody goes down in the polls, this happens not just in campaigns, this happens when the president hits the skids on the polls, suddenly they're all idiots. Everything they're doing is wrong. Every little mistake becomes magnified into a complete and total systems failure. And you know, the cliche example that I see in campaigns is inevitably at some point in the campaign, they ride around sometimes in these rented planes, sometimes private planes. The plane has trouble taking off or has engine trouble or is stuck in the mud. If the candidate is losing, you say, aha, can't even get the campaign plane up in the air. This is a metaphor for what a difficult time so-and-so has had. You don't see that kind of story when the polls are good, when the votes are good, when the campaign seems to be on a hot streak. That is what I was agreeing with Axelrod on. Not that we in the media should decide who has a good or a bad campaign, but even so, yes, we should apply the same standards whether somebody's up or down, whether the poll numbers are up or down. But too often we fall into the trap of saying, if you're doing well, if you've got a high approval rating, if you've won the last 2 or 3 contests, you must be brilliant.